I'm Alex Avrio. I have written the Merchant Blades series, which is like the Alchemist's Box and the Lose a Princess, Lose Your Head, which hopefully you've heard of, else you're watching a random video of this random lady on YouTube for no reason. Anyway, I've decided to talk to my friends about some books I really like. So in this episode and future episodes, hopefully if you continue watching this, we will go on some of my favorite books. Some of them are like oldies but goodies, and some of them are new or new to me. But anyway, some of them are definitely new. Got them off the books shelves and the bookstores when we were allowed to go out. And hopefully when we are allowed to go out again, I will go and read the bookstores. But anyway, my first one for today is a lesser known, I think, British author called Joan Aiken. So this is her book called A Small Pinch of Weather. And there's a little story behind this. So Joan Aiken is more well known for the Wolves of Willoughby Chase, which is a series of novels in an alternative Victorian Britain. But I actually find her small stories amazing. No, not small stories, short stories. I actually find her short stories amazing because they have this amazing mixture of magical realism and surrealism and lovely sort of like they leave you with a warm feeling, a nice feeling, most of them, but even some of them might be sad because she has some sad ones, but you still have a nice vibe finishing them. There's not all grim, dark, horrible darkness, which we've got enough of. So some of them, some people say children's novels or stories, some people say young adults and sort of adults, but like for me, there's no such thing. There's a good story, a well-written story. So this book actually is the reason why people should go into charity stores and look at the books and buy stuff that they like. Because, you know, they're not expensive and you might find diamonds, I tell you. This was in the best charity bookstore of, I know, Sue Ryder one. I will not disclose a location because I want to find the good pickings I find when I go there. But anyway, guys, just go to charity stores, buy books you like the look of, the title of, the thing of, open them, read them if you like how they sort of like read, buy them. They're not expensive. I think they're called thrift shops for our American friends. I'm not sure, but you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Anyway, I just got this when I walked in there. I really loved the cover. I'd never heard of her before. So I thought, well, it's not expensive. I'm going to take a punt. And it has these amazing stories in, and just like, look at this like dragon. How can you not like this? Just like starting from here, it's got dragons in it, and it does. And the first one is called A Small Pinch of Weather. The second one is Broomsticks and Sardines, Apple of Trouble, The Cereal Garden. Hang on to that one because we're going to talk about this. But this is like a selection of her sort of best of, I think. That's what they think. I like all of them. But and among these stories in this one is a family. So they're not magical themselves, but because as a result of a sort of like magic wish that the wife made on her honeymoon, she found this, what are they called?
Hagstone.
A hagstone, which I think is a stone with a hole in the middle, which is called a hagstone and has alleged magical properties. She wished that their lives would always be interesting, and yeah, they are in spades. So this is this family with 2 children. I think she started writing about these children in I don't want to say the 30s because that's a little bit early, but I think sometime in mid-50s she started writing, and up until the 2000s when she passed away, she still wrote about this family, and you wouldn't know very much the difference. This has been written through all this time, but it's seamlessly read. And what happens is they have taken in this book, The Cereal Garden, and this book, which all these I bought, because I love this one. Or were given to me as gifts. So in this one, the collection of all the stories of this family is put in. The Armitage family stories are in here, and you get some amazing little stories here.
So what's that one called?
This is called, from Joan Aiken, The Cereal Garden.
Okay, just The Cereal Garden.
There is a reason why it's called The Cereal Garden, because like the last story in this one is about the boy of the family. Let me remember. Mark. So Mark sort of wants to go and buy his cereals, but in the shop they're run out of it, and he gets and buys this like random brand he's never heard of, and they're running a competition. In the back of this cereal, they've got a port of panorama, diorama, whatever they are. So if you get 6 packs and you put them together, the 6 different packs, you get this garden. So he's starting buying these cereals and putting it together, and when he puts it together, actually he hears this magic music and gets transported into this, and he finds this princess who has been cursed to live in there. She's been trapped in there, so he wants to get her out. However, I'm not going to tell you what happens because it's a major spoiler. It is fantastic. It's a really good story, and I have to say the writer got so many letters about this story that she had to write another one to tell them what happened, really. So this is where everything is. Let me just like find the titles, because some of them are just like, can't remember everything by heart. So they've got The Land of Trees and Heroes, who has a little bit of a Greek twist in it. The Stolen Quince Tree. That how can you not like quinces? The Chinese Dragon, Goblin Music, The Cereal Garden, which is the one I told you about, and I think that the very last one is Milo's New World, which is what actually happened in the Cereal Garden. But each one of these are very good, very nice. The next one is The Gift Giving, which again has a selection of her stories. She's written loads and loads and loads of short stories. She was an editor in one of the better magazines, fantasy magazines, so she has written lots of stories. Again, how can you not like this? This is a little girl reading to a dragon on an island. So if you're ever going to get marooned into a tropical island, you would read to a dragon, of course, because why not? What else would you do? But this has 3 of the best stories I have read, and I have read loads of them. Let me just tell you, I love ghost stories. I am a sucker for a good story. Give me a good story anytime. M.R. James, love him. And why do I love him? This is going to be a whole episode, I think, on M.R. James. M.R. James? Yes. But I love him because his stories are, you're in a room and one of your mates, after like, I don't know, has a couple and tell you, I think I once saw a ghost, and goes and tell you a really scary story. But the whole point of the story is like that, usually the bloke who's telling the story, I use the word bloke here as like whoever, but usually in M.R. James is a man who tells the stories, because they were written in the beginning of the century. Again, back to the thing, it has this nice thing where you get really, really scared, but it's like you have this impression it could be anyone who's, seen a ghost and telling you the story. Not these horrible things you see now, that you have to be eaten alive by the ghost, killed by the ghost, haunted by the ghost, become a ghost yourself. It's like always not a good ending. No, it's like you get a really good scare and then you just like go home and just like maybe get scared in the evening by the curtains or something. Back to this one.
Back to topic.
back to the topic. What I was trying to say is, like, I love ghost stories, read loads of them. This has 2 of the best ghost stories. As in they stay with you, they really do, and they've got dogs in them. So this is one is like Crusaders Toby, and I love the imagery of this. This is like a young boy. Every year they go with his parents to this like village somewhere near the sea, and this village is like gets eaten away. There's a big abbey on a cliff, and this abbey, is like, I don't know, 11th century, really old, has a graveyard, has the tomb of a crusader in it, He's been to the Crusades, he's been back, he's got like the statue of a dog at his feet. But the thing is, like, the sea's eating away, and every year there's a little bit less of the abbey, a little bit of it falls into the sea. And will the tomb survive? What's going to happen? That stays with you, and that's not even part of the ghost story, but, or maybe it is. So this is Crusader Toby, one of the best ghost stories I've read. Also, which one is the other one? Hubble Puppy, one of the sweetest ghost stories I have read. So these are the really two fantastic ghost stories. It's got in it one that's called A Harp of Fishbones, it's one of the best fantasy stories I've read. It could be like a Disney movie, it could be like a series, it could be like a book, it could be like a graphic novel. It's amazing. Just go buy this just for that. It's got one that's called The Rain Child, which is really good. I do like The Faithless Lollybird, which is like why you shouldn't work your lollybird very hard. It's like it's got a lot of really good ones that they're very well worth a read. It's got one, I think it's called Cooks and Prophecies, which is like the princess that ends up reading to a dragon. So yeah, why not? It's called there's one who is amazing. It's called The Third Wish. So I'll just let you just go buy this, people. It's really good. Just go read it if you like stories, good writing and fantasy and everything. Go read this. And this one, which is called The People in the Castle, not to be confused with We Always Lived in the Castle, from the lady who wrote the Haunting of Hill House, Shirley Jackson. This is a different one. This is again by Joan Aiken, and they all have a sprinkle of the supernatural. This one, little.
Is that short stories again?
Again, it is short stories. All these have short stories. All these are short stories. These are amazing because you can read them in, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long it takes you to read the short story. And it's like eating little chocolates out of a chocolate box. It's really good. It's amazing. I love these. And this is my first favourite author. And she's especially lovely because she was there and I didn't know about her. So I sort of discovered her. Imagine like discovering that, I don't know, Jane Austen had written another novel you never knew about. Or there's another like tome of Sherlock Holmes short stories you never knew about. This is a really good author and I found her. And I love books. I think this is like abundantly clear. And for me, they just transport you somewhere else. It's like the best thing I can think about of how amazing books are. It's like they're gateways. Imagine you've got Stargate. You know what Stargate is. Like if you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. So Stargate, and each book you put a destination in. You go through the Stargate and you're in this different world, and you leave it, you breathe it, you just like go on adventure. You are the hero. You can be the villain if you want, depending on what book you're reading. You just like go through this amazing world. You completely transport it somewhere else, and poof, then you're back home and everything's fine. And there are no monsters out of the window, no sort of like goblin armies have taken over your village, and everything's fine and it's okay. And the next day you can set a new destination, get a new book, go somewhere else, and everything's fine and it's amazing. And you've always got your safe home to go back to. So anyway, stay home, stay safe, keep reading. Bye.